The following program contains material that is not suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the Community Media Center Marin, it's marINSANITY.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Are we still Marin sane right now?
Yeah.
Woo! I might just go out and get a Tesla or something. I just feel that good. Yeah, if I could afford a Tesla. Oh man, I am a mom, as we were talking about earlier. And I took my child to Disneyland recently, like a good mom, right? And I brought my mom, which is good because she's handicapped, so we got in all the rides real quick. And definitely, yeah, took one for the team there. And I thought Disneyland was for children. Like, I thought that. But then I took my daughter on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Do you know about, it was the second ride we went, I ruined my daughter's childhood in a minute, taking her on this ride. First of all, who is Mr. Toad? Really, like who? Who is he? Like, do you have a Mr. Toad backpack? Nobody knows who the fuck Mr. Toad is. We don't care. All we know is he went on a wild ride. And I remembered it just being like, you're a fun toad and fun stuff happens. You get to drive a car. No, what happens is you are Mr. Toad, okay? So my daughter, just bright-eyed, just holding onto this car wheel. We're Mr. Toad. We go through the first door. You meet a gang of bad weasels. Really bad, evil weasels. You steal explosives. That's what you do next. Then you blow shit up. You blow shit up. Then you go on trial with a judge. A trial where an evil judge is pointing at you, and then you get what I assume is capital punishment because you end in hell. In hell with Satan. My poor child's face. I thought I was taking her on this fun aquatic adventure. It turned out I was just teaching her the consequences of domestic terrorism. You know, just like, uh-oh. Oh, but that ride was built by Nazis anyways, right, guys? No. It's funny, though. My daughter and my mother went to bed early, and I was like, we're close to the park. And I had sort of a choose-your-own-adventure moment of, like, I could also go to bed like a grown-up, or I could dump out this water bottle, fill it with white wine, and go right back into that park. And that's what I did. Do you guys know that they don't like single people at Disneyland? It makes everyone uncomfortable. They actually have signs that say, single riders, please head to the front. Like, we don't want you to be sad and alone and drunk in line by yourself. We want to pair you with other sad and alone drunk people, which I did. I got paired. It was like a weird, whimsical dating scenario, too. I got paired with Abraham on Thunder Mountain. Have you ever tried to flirt on a roller coaster? Have you ever just like, what do you do for a living? And I was trying to decide as he's screaming, like, what decibel his screams need to be where I'm not going to fuck him anymore. Like, I'm like, oh, no, he's screaming pretty loud. And then he was just like, afterwards, he was like, do you want to go to Space Mountain? And I was like, no, dude, I am not following you to Tomorrowland. Staying right here in Frontierland, sir, right here. But I am a mom. And I'm also, I'm also a marijuana smoker, guys. All right? I know. Don't judge me, audience. Don't judge me. I'm a parent. Yeah, I'm a proud stoner parent, okay? You know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I want to relate to my child, okay? Do you know how much Sesame Street we watch? A lot. Partly because I'm high and the music's really good, you know? Like, the only danger of being a stoner parent is starting a band with your kid before they're ready. Like, that's the only danger. But yeah. I became a single mom. I've been a single mom for a while. I became a single mom with a really young kid, and it was hard because anytime you meet a single mom with a really young kid, you know there's a dramatic story there, right? It's never like, oh, Jim wouldn't watch Downton Abbey with me, so I said, fuck him, and took the baby and ran, right? Like, for me, it was no different. My ex left me for another woman 5 weeks after having his baby. I know. Well, he gave it 5 weeks, right? He tried, like when he left, I was really fat and hormonal and depressed and emotionally unstable. So it was the perfect time to get back out there and meet somebody new, right, guys? So I got right back out there. Do you know how hard it is to date while lactating, by the way? Do you guys know, huh? The single mom in the back, do you remember? Yeah? All right, let me just tell you, it's a lose-lose situation for everybody because he's probably not into it. Or worse, he's really into it, right? All right, you guys ready to keep this show rolling? Yeah. All right, come on, Marin. Let's get real insane. Marin. Woo! Our first comedian is a good friend of mine who performs all over the Bay Area. Please make some noise for Joe Gorman, everyone.
One more time for Samantha, huh? Oh, Marin, am I glad to be here. Let me tell you something. This weekend, I did something extraordinary. I tried to relate to my peers outside of the comedy community. Tried to brunch it up, live like a regular adult. Very difficult, all right? Had to get up at the crack of 11 a.m. It was hard, man, hanging out with people. And all of my friends are grown-ups now. Like, they know what a 401k is, and they can tie a necktie without consulting YouTube. They're grown up. It's weird. Like, they know what a sleep number is. A sleep number. I sleep on a pile of dirty laundry. I can't relate to these people just yet. It's tough, Marin. It is hard, you know? So there was that, you know, and then I spent the rest of the weekend just inside. That's the best part about being in my 30s, is there's no desire to go out whatsoever. All of my hunting and gathering skills, absolutely eroded. You know, I'm just living online. You know, it's 2016. I'm plugged into the Matrix, you know? Like, I get a rumbly in my tumbly. I'm not going to walk to the kitchen, you know, chop up vegetables, prepare meat. Too much work, you know? Now I just fire up my laptop and I tweet a pizza emoji to Domino's. That's all I need to do. Domino's was smart enough to hire some programmer who should honestly deserve the Nobel Peace Prize, and he figured out the algorithm where all you need to do is send a little picture of a pizza to Domino's, and all of your personal information goes up into the cloud, and then 45 minutes to 3.5 hours later, delicious Domino's pizza is delivered to my front door. It's amazing. Like, stand-up comedy is paying me too much. I got money burning a hole in my pocket. I'm not going to go to Target, you know, push a dirty, germ-ridden shopping cart up and down the aisles and have people bring their kids in, and their kids are just picking their nose and just touching everything, and then I got to go put it in my shopping cart and check out. Too much work, you know? Now I just fire up my laptop. I go to Amazon.com, pick out whatever I want, minimum wage employees put it in a nice little package for me, and 45 seconds later, my order is placed in my front door via drone. Can you believe that? Robots, man! Any other country, you hear the whirling of a drone motor, you're going to die. But in America, it just means my skin cream's arrived. It's wonderful. I love it, you know? Like, I'll tell you what, after the show tonight, I'm going home and just kicking back and relaxing. By 8:30, I guarantee you I will be rocking an avocado face mask, just opening up the pores. I love being inside. I even have a special inside wardrobe, just an XXXL shirt that modestly hangs below my knees, so there's no need for pants. It's the best. I even have a special t-shirt for the occasion. It's my dad's old Big Dog shirt. Remember those? It's the one that says, "If you can't run with the big dogs, then stay on the porch." And you got this image that there's this majestic big dog just running through an open field with the wind blowing through his fur, just the way God envisioned all of his big dogs to be. And then in the background, you got this piece of crap dog just sitting on the porch, years of selective breeding ruining any chance of him running with the aforementioned big dogs. Like, get used to being carried around in a purse, jerk. This is your life forever now, you know? So I'm wearing the big dog shirt. I got the avocado face mask on. I'm eating dark chocolate because I read that they were high in antioxidants. And why would a Woman's Health magazine lie to me, you know? And I'm spending the entire evening doing absolutely nothing but screwing up my ex-girlfriend's Netflix recommendations. Just doing everything in my power to erase any trace of femininity whatsoever. Like, oh, this movie stars Sandra Bullock, 1-star rating, you know? This movie features Stone Cold Steve Austin in it, 5-star rating. We got to switch up the algorithm, you know? Now Netflix isn't going to recommend A Walk to Remember. It's going to recommend Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme, or Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme. You guys see the theme here? Jean-Claude Van Damme, I miss my woman. Oh, Ron, vulnerable on public access. This guy's honest. Oh, man. A little bit more about me, a little more honesty. My carbon footprint, tiny as hell, all right? Size 7 shoe, size -3 carbon footprint. I ride the bus everywhere, very low carbon emissions. I was taking the bus to work today, all right? And I was drinking a Gatorade on the bus because, one, it's the beverage of champions, and two, I've been spending all day night drinking and playing video games, so I was completely parched of electrolytes. Need to replenish my system, you know? So I was on the bus, and this dude a few rows behind me starts yelling at me. He's like, "You can't drink on the bus. It's breaking all of the rules." And for those of you that's never ridden public transportation, it's not breaking all of the rules on the bus. It's breaking one rule, the no beverage rule. However, I had justification for ignoring this rule because there are people that were ignoring way worse rules on the bus. Like, there was a guy clipping his toenails on the bus, just not caring. We've all been there. We hear the clipping of the nail clipper, and then we scan the bus, and it's always some dude who has way worse hygiene problems than long toenails. But that's the one he's tackling on the morning commute, you know? And nobody says anything because if you're crazy enough to take your shoes off on the bus, you're crazy enough to stab someone with the nail clippers. So he just has diplomatic immunity. And what was worse, there was one worse culprit on the bus, and it was that guy who had a service animal, which was clearly just not a service animal whatsoever. You know, it wasn't like a seeing eye dog or some border collie helping a blind veteran to his chair. None of that, you know. It was just a pit bull. And not like one of those cute, cuddly baby pit bulls they post online every time there's a dog mauling. This is one of those dogs that's responsible for the dog mauling. It was just jacked, you know. It had like a chain instead of a regular leash. You know, that's like a neck tattoo for a dog. And it had like back muscles and abs. Like, pit bulls are the only dogs that have abs. This dog had like an 8-pack and that V thing that goes down to your dick that you can only get by doing like side crunches and leg lifts. Like, this pit bull had a CrossFit routine, you know? And he wasn't helping anyone. He was just barking, just going nuts at these Academy of Art students. Just, "Arf, arf, arf, stop wasting your parents' money," you know, like going crazy. And the owner knew exactly what to say. So instinctively, he yells out, "It's a service animal. When it rips out your esophagus, that's how I know I have low blood sugar." And that's how San Francisco is. My name's Joe Gorman. Thank you very much.
Everybody give it up for Joe! Joe, the J-Wolf Gorman, gracing us with his presence. Are we ready for our next comedian?
Yeah.
Oh, when was that? That was, yeah. Like it's our birthday or something. Yay! No, come on. It's like our 21st birthday. Yeah! There we go. All right. Our next performer won the National College Comedy Competition. Put your hands together for Jesse Fernandez.
Yeah, that credit might be 10 years old. They might have seen a pretty old bio. I'm not sure. marINSANITY. Let's get. Are you guys Marin sane? Huh? No. Some of you look a little Marin tense. Let's not be too quiet. I might have a Marin or ear infection. Am I right, you guys? Oh gosh, not a lot of minorities in this town. Because here's how I could tell. I am looking at the teleprompter right now, and my last name Fernandez does have that red line underneath it. So, not too familiar with that last name around here, I guess. I can tell just from looking at people whether they prefer Lyft or Uber, all right? Okay, Lyft. Correct, yeah? Uber. Yeah, knew it. Good old-fashioned taxi cab, huh? Yes, I'm correct. You drive Lyft. I knew it. Let's just be real strategic about when we cut to the audience, huh? How about that? And I'll look real smart. I've been using this new app. It's like Lyft and Uber, but for poor people. It's called a public bus. Thank you. And it is horrible. I was riding on it recently, and I overheard this guy whispering, "You're not crippled. You don't need a wheelchair." To a baby in a stroller. Yeah, that was amazing. I just wanted to follow that guy around, and like steal his real life crazy observations for my act. So I could come up here and just be like, "Hey, you guys ever notice that pine cones are really just artichoke fossils?" Discuss. Sure, he was crazy. He was wearing baggy jean shorts that went down to his shin, so I figured he probably lost his mind at a Limp Bizkit concert. Yeah, very few people are going to get that in this audience. Now, I don't know, but we're all messed up somehow. I'm surprised that you got that.
It's a long story.
Is it a long story? Can I guess? Your kids are fans.
Yes.
It was a pretty short story.
Especially since he doesn't have kids.
What? Why would you lie to me? On national TV, this is going to be seen by potentially... How many people live in the area? All of them. You guys raise your hand? I'm looking for a population. And what I gathered from that is like 6. So I don't know. It's messed up, but like that dude was messed up, but we're all messed up somehow. Everything messes people up. Even holidays will do it. You would think that they wouldn't, but they totally do. They're just exceptions to rules that there shouldn't be exceptions to. Like Halloween, for instance. That's an easy one. Every other day of the year, we're like, don't accept candy from strangers. Oh, except for that one day when all the strangers are wearing disguises. Then go nuts. Don't try to make women kiss you, except for Christmas, under the mistletoe. It's the international waters of sexual harassment. Don't eat stuff you find in the backyard. Easter. Don't let your dad kidnap you and start a new life in Nevada. My birthday, once. Everything does it. That's why you can't judge people. I know a girl, she won't take Lyft or Uber. She says that the drivers are creepy. She got out of a Lyft car to hang out with me. And she was, as soon as the driver took off, she's like, "That guy was such a creep." I was like, "Why? Why is he a creep?" She's like, "Because I caught him staring at me a bunch, and he didn't say anything the whole drive. What a creep." I was like, that doesn't make him a creep. That makes him shy, and you're pretty. He'd be a creep if he actually did something creepy. Like he showed up, he didn't have a car at all. He just had that pink mustache on his upper lip. Did somebody order a ride? Why don't you hop aboard this luxurious Ford in my face? Seat's warm. That guy'd be a creep. Other dude's just shy. That's no big deal. We're all messed up. I'm messed up. I can't take certain things seriously. Like I get these job interviews, and they'll ask me real questions. Like an interviewer once asked me, "Where do you see yourself in 10 years?" Here's a pro tip. You can say anything to that, because they can't see the future. Which is why I always say dancing on your grave. Yeah, someone died in that joke. It happens. An interviewer once asked me, if you could have lunch with anybody, living or dead, who would you pick? And I was like, living. I think I'm overqualified for this position. That's enough comedy. I'm going to do something extra special for you guys, and that is that I'm going to read somebody's mind in this audience. All right? It's hard to believe, but I'm going to do it, and all I need is a volunteer. Somebody who's willing to let me root around in their brain. Or not. I don't have to do that at all. Okay, cool.
Mark.
Thanks, man. First of all, what's your name?
Mark.
Mark, I know.
Good start.
Mark, there's only one catch to reading your mind, and that's that it takes 2 guesses. All right? Not bad. 50% accuracy. Now, I need you to focus on the thing that you want me to read. Okay? You have it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First guess. You're thinking about your parents having sex. No? Okay, guess number 2. Now you're thinking about your parents having sex. Oh my gosh, can you believe that? You guys.
Oh, just bringing Comedy Mom to clean up my shit. Thanks, Jesse. All right, you guys ready for your next comedian, your final comedian? You guys ready? That's it. All right. Our final performer is one of the hottest emerging female comics on the scene today. Let's hear it for Shay Bell, everybody.
How you guys doing? You guys good? Everybody's good? Oh, yeah. Awesome. You guys, I've just recently relocated back to Northern California from Los Angeles, where I was trying to pursue my comedy career for the last 3 years. We see how well that shit went. It was like, go back, start over. You got to start this over. For the first 3 years I was in Los Angeles, I was homeless. And it's funny, whenever I tell people that comment, they get real sad. They look at me like they actually think that I was on the street. And I'm like, I have double D's. That will never happen. So when I mean I was on the street, when I was homeless, I mean I didn't have my own apartment, you know what I mean? So I spent a lot of time sleeping at other people's house, sleeping on other people's couches, and quite honestly, sleeping on other people's floors. And being in a situation where I had to wake up every single day and try to figure out where I was gonna sleep the next night, I started thinking about things, you guys, that honestly, I just never thought I would ever have to think about. I started thinking about shit like, whose carpet is softer? Or do I really want to go to Janine's house and listen to her dog lick his balls all night? And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't know what was worse, the fact that I actually hated this sound or that it was turning me on. Just me, huh? Just me, okay. So, okay, thank you. This room reminds me of a place that I'm from. That's Napa. And that's... There's no black people. You guys, it's no black people in Napa. If you ever see any black people in Napa, they are in the witness protection program. It's a hot mess. We just had Easter pass. I don't know if you guys spent some time with your families, but I spent a lot of time with my aunt and my mother. And I had a little situation. I wanted to get some advice, so I asked my mom to help me out. And in the middle of her trying to help me, I realized that I can't really listen to my mother anymore. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation, but you have somebody that's older than you, a family member, give you advice about a similar situation they've been in, but their experience happened like long time ago. So the advice doesn't necessarily apply till today. You know what I mean? I'll give you an example. When I was a kid, my mom used to have one piece of advice for me and my brothers. Like, no matter what the situation was, when we go to school, she used to tell us the same thing every single day. She used to say, when you go to school, if somebody tries to take advantage of you, you don't let them. When you go out there and you go to school today, if somebody tries to bully you, you pick up a brick and you hit them in the head with it. Now when I think about that, I'll be like, what the hell was going on? And my mother's life, for her to advise me to hit a 6-year-old in the head with a damn brick. I'm like, that's too much. That's a little bit too much. Another example of my mom's advice that's a little bit over the top is, recently, you guys, I was at a comedy festival at a bar, and I got my titty grabbed by a stranger. Yeah, that's uncomfortable. It got quiet, didn't it? That's just out of order. I didn't know what to do with that situation. Now, I had some words with the gentleman. I did. We exchanged some not so pleasant words, but he was 6'4", and I'm not Ronda Rousey. You know what I mean? So all I could do was write this joke. Now, I contemplated for a couple of days if I should tell my mother this story, because I knew if I told her, she's going to come with that ridiculous advice, right? So I did tell her. I told her what happened, and she was like, see? In case you didn't know, that's what black women do. See? why you let him do that to you? Why you didn't say something to him? And I'm like, Mom, I did say something to him when he did it. But she's giving me advice like there was some way for me to preempt the titty grab. You know what I mean? Like, what was I supposed to do? Walk in the bar and be like, listen up. I'm going to be drinking in here tonight. And I don't want nobody to try to grab my titty. You see this brick? Mom, it's on to calm down. It's on to calm down. It's all right. It's ridiculous. So I date women. Thank you. Good. Great. I don't know if you know this or not, but if you don't, I'll let you know. Living an alternative lifestyle is kind of frowned upon in the black community. Apparently, you can kill a 6-year-old with a brick, but just don't be gay. I find myself answering a bunch of really ridiculous questions, people. So let's review one right now, just in case you find yourself in this similar situation, you won't ask this question. I told you guys I've been spending time with my relatives, right, over the Easter holiday, and I was telling my aunt, older lady, that I date girls, right? And so she said to me, she was like, wait a minute. So you date girls. So who's the boy? Nobody? I was like, that's what that means. I was talking to an older guy also at a comedy show. I told the same joke about not just dating girls, but being bisexual, which I am really. And after the comedy show, you guys are real confused now. Like, wait a minute. After the show, the guy comes up to me and he says, you date boys, you date girls. So what's the difference? And you guys, I just wanted to talk to this man like he was an infant. I said, well, sir, one has an innie. And the other one's a dick. God, I can't escape it. He had a friend with him also who just automatically assumed that I knew where the orgy was going down. And I do. But I was like, you can't go, sir, because they don't let stupid people in. And I mean, I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure in order to successfully navigate your way through an orgy, you kind of have to be able to tell the boys from the girls. You guys have been great. My name is Shay Bell.
Shay Bell, everybody, give it up! Thank you! marINSANITY, we did it! You guys were a lovely audience. Give it up for yourselves. Do it! Yeah! Hot crowd. Give it up for your performers that you just saw. Joe Gorman, Jesse Fernandez, and Shay Bell. I've been your host, Samantha Gilwhite. Thanks so much, guys.